Gracias, buenas noches, bendiciones. Qué agradecimiento más grande el estar con ustedes una vez más a través de las noches de América, el segmento de la hora del swing y el tiempo de la verdad. Y hablando de verdad y de verdades, siempre me he sentido muy bien con un hermano que Dios me ha dado. Un hermano que es más alto que yo, es más blanco que yo, es más bonito que yo, pero no se sabe cuál de los dos es más loco. Cuando hablamos de locura, nos referimos a la espontaneidad, a la libertad y el derecho de ser como tú eres ante los demás, de no engañar, de mostrarte tal cual eres. A esto le llaman autenticidad y siempre hemos disfrutado la autenticidad de esta sección, de su contenido, de sus personajes y su historia. Hoy no habrá excepción alguna. Vamos a continuar haciendo historia con temas trascendentales, con historias sentidas, con hechos que nos ayudan cada día a entender mejor la necesidad de la raza humana, los pasos a seguir para un mejor mañana, por un mejor mundo y una mejor convivencia. Esa ha sido una característica natural en el tiempo de la verdad. Y hoy es para mí un alto honor de verdad estar aquí una vez más para dar lo mejor de nosotros en el tiempo de la verdad, las noches de América, la hora del swing, Rafael Bomba Brito, Adalberto Grullón y el doctor Bernard Fialkoff. El doctor Bernard Fialkoff, esta vez desde Washington, con nosotros en el tiempo de la verdad. Doctor, un abrazo, adelante, bienvenido.
Bomba, thank you again for having us back on the show. And tonight, we have something special for all of you. Coming from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., at the National Affairs Office. Here we are in this beautiful room in Washington. A beautiful day this afternoon. And we're at a very special conference, the International Religious Freedom Summit. And God knows our world needs this summit with some of the things that are going on that we'll be discussing. And we're very lucky today to have a very special guest with us, all the way from Southeast Asia. Traveled all the way here, and we have a tremendous collaboration of people from all over the world. And we want to introduce this very special man to you, Padmalchan Bhag, who is the founder and the CEO of Save Water and Safe Water Foundation. And this he holds in Southeast Asia. He holds a master's degree in human resource management from Padmalchan University. And his wife, Zubeni, his daughter, Amaria, and he reside in Hyderabad, India. And it's our honor to welcome to A Time for Truth show, Padmalchan Bhag. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
It's my pleasure to be here today.
Well, you know, it's very interesting because we met at the International Religious Foundation Summit, and we were talking. And so I wanted to ask you first, when you were a little boy and you were young, what were your dreams?
When I was a little boy and I had a dream, I wanted to go throughout the world and tell people about what's happening in India. I had no idea what's happening in India, but gradually I got to know that this is something I want to share about the water problem in India, the water crisis of India, and how people suffering because of lack safe drinking water.
Amazing. So you actually started this at a very early age.
Very early age.
My Lord. So tell us, what is happening in that area of the world? And, it has everything to do with why we're here at this summit. So tell us a little bit about what are people suffering from there?
Well, in India, there are the people who lives in urban India, they have access to safe drinking water. But they do not have this awareness that to save water because water is limited. Supply and demand. Now the demand is more and supply is less. So we bring awareness to the people to save water in urban India. Whereas in rural India, the village in India, deep corner, where people they do not have safe drinking water. They walk miles to get safe drinking water for their family. The water they bring for the pond, the river, that water they drink, the water they cook, and that water they even use in other household work. So it's some people they have plenty of water they misuse, and again there are so many people that do not have water to drink. So there is a disbalance, I will say discrepancy of providing safe drinking water to the people.
Wow. And when did you start your group, Safe Water, Save Water?
Officially, I launched this organization 6 years before. But since 2009, there was a passion in me which was making me to go to the people and helping them to give safe drinking water. I still remember there are so many places in India like a railway station. When the water is just keep on going, nobody bother about it. The water, the tap is leaking. And I'll just run out to the station manager and I will say, sir, the water is leaking. Can you do something for that? Can you just close the tap? And I still remember one incident in 2011. A station manager, he told me, who are you to ask this question? And I said, I'm a citizen of the country and water has to be saved. So since long, I had this passion for the water, but officially we registered the organization Save Water and Safe Water Foundation in 2020.
I see.
Yeah.
And, you were mentioning to me before we did the show that actually some groups in India are discriminated against. So even though there is water, they're not allowed to have the water.
Yes.
This unbelievable in this day and age. Tell us a little bit about that.
That is the reason just I came to this International Religious Freedom Conference. If somebody changed their faith, those group of people are not allowed to drink water in their village. They will not let you go to the same well and drink water because you changed your faith. But according to the Indian constitutions, even the United Nations, they say that giving safe drinking water is a right of every human being. So there is a violation of human rights.
Absolutely. It's amazing to me. And we're, as you said, we're here at this International Religious Freedom Summit here in DC. And I myself, like you, came with my concern and something written here that I want to read to you and for you to comment on. And here's what it's written is that every day in our world we face challenges with many minority religious groups in places such as Nigeria, Nicaragua, India, Iran, and many others besides. The vital importance of the work of the International Religious Foundation Summit is an exciting opportunity to have a collective action. So I wanted you to comment on that and, a little bit more about what you feel about this in our world.
The religion, every religion, the fundamental, the doctrinal thing of every religion is peace. And every religion, if you think about the Christians, you can Muslims, you can Hindus, the people who really know they have a deep understanding of religion is to bring harmony, peace, and live in unity among themselves. Sadly, there are some fanatic groups, they don't understand, they have their own agenda, and they bring those agenda and they connect with the religion. And because of that reason, there are so many, we see in the world, there are so many people are being killed because of the religion. Somebody told me, and I was somehow, they said that the amount of people being killed and murdered in the name of religion is more than the Second World War, the people died.
Horrible. You know, it's amazing because in the world wars, I think it was in World War I, something that was very ironic occurred, because on the belt buckles of the soldiers of both sides, which were enemies to each other, had in their own languages God mittens. In other words, God is with us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very ironic that each side killing each other, thinking that God is with them and that God would want them to kill each other. Comment a little bit on that for me.
Certainly, there is no God wants them to kill each other. There is some other God that people have made in their own religion. Religion, I will say, from my understanding and what I understand, a religion, people they don't understand religion and the spirituality. A spiritual man will never attack somebody. They always need peace, joy, harmony. But sometimes I feel the religion, they want to they dominate other people in the name of religion.
Mm-hmm.
So where that is a big concern. My religion, sometimes somebody will say, my religion is bigger than your religion. Somebody will say, no, my religion is bigger than your religion. Then where is God?
That's right.
So on that basis, I will say that religion should bring peace and harmony to the people, not killing each other. It may be any religion.
It is so true, because when you think about the concept of God, and it seems like as mankind, we've actually taken it away. We disparage that concept, the symbol, because obviously any being with the power to create so much abundance of life, what joy would that God seek in destroying what was created?
Mm-hmm.
And you're so right. I see a lot of that in our world. It seems like we live in a way where if we have a lot, we're happy, but we don't look any further.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think about the possibility that in a different part of the world, there could be a problem unless it actually hits home. And then all of a sudden, you hear all this upset and you hear all this turmoil, and how could this happen? Why is it happening? And you say, well, why didn't someone do something before? I'm curious, with your foundation, are there people who have actually gotten upset with you with your foundation, that you're trying to do something that you shouldn't do? Or has everything been very positive?
There are some people, they really don't want us to work in certain areas. But I always try to see in a positive aspect of it. Why I say that positive? Because the water is for everyone. Water does not have any religion. Water does not discriminate rich or poor. Water is for Indian, the same water for American, for Canadian, for African, Pakistani, for everywhere. So this water, for me, water brings peace to the people. Water connects people. If you come to India, if you ask somebody, can you give me a glass of water? nobody will say no. They will give water to drink. And in Indian tradition, if you give water to somebody, it's a blessing that you are giving to someone. You receive blessing.
You're giving them life. You're giving the ability to go on. It's so true, you know?
Yes.
You know, your statement before, even though some people would say it's very simple, if we really look at it, it's actually very profound. And as you said it, I never really thought of it, but it's very true. Water doesn't discriminate. It's all over the planet. The same water exists in China as in South America, Europe as it does in Africa, America as it exists in Hawaii or Japan. And it's amazing that we don't take a look at that, and even the air. Because again, the air doesn't discriminate. And again, people would say, well, why are we spending time on this? But it's interesting because if we took a look at those factors of life and how they're really more valuable than any amount of metal, such as gold or platinum, or any kind of paper, no matter what image of dollars or rubles was printed on that paper, if we really look at the wealth of life, we have the water, we have the air. And then I wanted to ask you something, because it's really, I noticed this about you since the moment that I met you, and this will end the show on this. You're a very friendly human being. And,
Thank you.
you know, I wanted to ask you, because I'm sure the viewers are wondering this, how do you maintain such a friendly, open attitude?
I think from my understanding, all people are same. We all are created by one God. And everybody should receive the dignity. Everybody should live with the dignity and joy. So whenever I see anyone, I just give my best smile. It's not just to show somebody, but it comes automatically because that's how to love one another. So I think that could be one reason, but I cannot tell why I'm like this, but that is how I am.
That's beautiful. Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And
I'm so blessed.
for those of you watching, let's take the example of Padmalchan Bhag. And let's realize how much wealth we have of the air, of the water, of the land, of the sun, of the moon. The things really that if we didn't have, as he said, we would cease to exist. Let's stop fighting over things that maybe don't mean that much really in the end result, because no one's going to leave this world with metal bars and pieces of paper. But maybe that smile that he has is something that be carried on eternally in a different plane of life. So I hope you've enjoyed this segment here from DC at the International Religious Freedom Summit in the capital of our country. And Bomba, I'm going to turn the show back over to you, back in New York, in Canal, America, with the Dominican Buddha in Canal, America. Good night.
Paz en la tierra a los hombres de buena voluntad. Paz en la tierra a los hombres de buena voluntad. ¿Y qué es tener buena voluntad? No es simplemente un deseo positivo y objetivo para tu prójimo. No es simplemente un pensamiento. Es una acción. La voluntad genera acciones. La voluntad hace que te muevas. La voluntad te hace productivo. La voluntad te hace consciente. Y esa voluntad mueve constantemente a mi colega y compañero, el doctor Fialkoff, para dar ese amor que tanto necesitamos. Ese amor en el trabajo, en la exposición, en compartir eventos, situaciones, palabras, consejos, estudios, estadísticas. Excelente participación, doctor, desde Washington. Gracias de todo corazón por ser siempre lo que usted ha sido. Y al equipo que le acompaña, al equipo técnico de Canal América, muchísimas gracias. Excelente trabajo. Buenas noches, bendiciones. Nos vemos la semana que viene en el tiempo de la verdad con el doctor Werner Fialkoff, en las noches de América con Adalberto Urullón y Rafael Bomba Brito de la Hora de Swing. Felicidades.